Welcome to this webinar, AI-driven cybersecurity governance, enhancing resilience in the age of intelligent threats. So today we're going to be exploring on how AI can enhance your organization's resilience against modern cyber threats. And I'm presenting for CHSG Tech Academy. Yes, CHSG Tech Academy. So we're going to dive right into it now. So this webinar is going to explore AI and cybersecurity. It's going to explain and enhance resilience, and it's going to show practical strategies on how to implement AI-driven security. So, under this aspect of exploring AI and cybersecurity, we're going to discover how AI intersects with cybersecurity governance, how AI can boost resilience against intelligent threats, and find strategies for implementing AI-driven cybersecurity. So now we know that now in this age, 2025, we realize that AI is taking over like the tech space now. So every most things that we do, most tools we use are AI driven, from media to tech to art, entertainment. We use AI for various things. So we're looking at the importance of using AI for cybersecurity governance. And we know that in the field of GRC means governance, risks, and compliance. Yes. So in the field of GIS and cybersecurity, where we have things of implementation, governance, and all, it's now imperative for us to be able to explore AI and how the tools can be used to build or to develop things that were actually used manually before. So we're going to the next one is our target audience in this webinar is are the tech professionals, the CISOs. The CISOs mean the Chief Information Security Officers, security architects, network engineers. People that want to know more about cybersecurity are the enthusiasts, like the researchers, students, and hobbyists. People that have the passion for security, people that want to know more about cybersecurity. Because in 2025, in this particular age, cybersecurity is a very sought after job. People are looking for cybersecurity professionals. People actually want to understand more. Like people want organizations are looking for people that actually know this cybersecurity very well, like into the field. So this webinar is going to explain or show us how we can use AI to build or to be better in enhancing resilience. Yes. So researchers, students, and hobbyists, then policymakers like government officials and compliance officers. Yes, we know that in the field of GRC, we have the compliance, the ISOs. We have the ISO 27001, 2022. Like the last review was in 2022. Yes, that's the ISO 27000, like 27001. So we have the guidelines on how to create policies for organizations, how for governance, for compliance, for even risk management, risk assessment in cybersecurity. So not just understand this webinar is just not going to show us about the manual way, like when we go to trying to build policy. We're trying to build policy using the standard of the ISO. That is, the ISO means International Organization for Standardization, and the last review for information security, yeah, was in 2022. So we're not just looking at the manual ones. We are trying to look at, okay, how can we regenerate AI into compliance too. So this webinar is also for policymakers, government officials, and compliance officers, and project managers too. If you're in the field of IT, security implementation, and tech in general, because now everything you need to do in tech, or even generally, you need to add have security. It's just like saying you are building a very beautiful house. Maybe you're a developer or something, and you are building a very beautiful house with beautiful infrastructure, beautiful interior design and all. And you don't put a fence, you don't put gates, you don't put anything that is going to secure the people that live in the house or secure the properties that are available in the house. That is cybersecurity. Irrespective of any aspect of tech, we also need information, even in its application, web design, web application, any field of cybersecurity, this full stack, JavaScript. We need to also have ideas of cybersecurity, and AI. AI now is advanced, like a lot of advanced AI that will give us a better understanding about cybersecurity governance, even cybersecurity in general, so that the way, because for the according to research, for the past 10 years, 5 to 10 years, there's been a spike in threats, even in the rate of hackings and all, because a lot of people are not really cyber aware. Some people can code, they can design, but they might not really have understanding of cyber security and safeguarding whatever they are building. So understanding the policies that govern something, and also understand the way to also build it using AI too. I hope we are understanding it. So the key takeaways from this webinar, we're going to understand threat landscape, AI solutions, governance strategies, implementation resources. We're going to also look at ethical considerations and governance challenges in AI-driven security. We're going to also look at real-world use cases. Like I'm going to talk. I'm really going to emphasize on real-world use cases because, excuse me, AI in SOCs, like SOCs. SOC means Security Operations Center, where we have SOC analysts, and when we hear SOC analyst one, SOC analyst two, like in entry level jobs like that. This SOC, and we're going to explain how AI can actually be used in security operations centers, anomaly detection, and predictive security. Now we're going to look at the takeaways from here. We're going to understand the foundation of cybersecurity governance, AI evolution, and the integration of AI. Now let's really dive right into it now. The evolving threat landscape. Cyber threats have grown exponentially with a 300% increase from 2023 to 2024. That's a very big one. And you know that when cyber threats increase, when cyber threats when we're having a lot of cyber threats there, here and there, here and there, here and there, a lot of things happen. Money is stolen. Even lawsuits are being filed against organizations. Imagine an organization loses money. Imagine, for example, an organization is building an application for saving money, for example, maybe a bank application or something, and there's no efficient security, and there is now a threat, or there's now someone, maybe cyber attackers hack into that particular system to get money. It's going to lead to a lot of loss, and that loss is going to lead to potential lawsuits that's even going to cost the organization more money. So even the way the cyber attackers are more sophisticated these days is really, really alarming, because the way cyber enthusiasts, or like the white hat hackers are the individuals that run, like the ethical hackers. We call them ethical hackers. So the ethical hackers, even the way we perform our vulnerability assessments and all, there's even more sophistication of attacks. Even the way that people are like, how are these people even upgrading themselves? So with the use of AI tools, with the use of AI on its own, we can be able to actually um we can be able to actually get fakes, deepfakes and malware. Malware means malicious software. Now, the evolving threat landscape also shows that breaches cost an average of 4.4 million US dollars per incident in 2024. So now let's take a look at this charts. What does AI tend to give us, or what does AI tend to promote in cybersecurity? Number one is threat detection, because anytime we're carrying out VAPT means vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Yeah. So anytime we're carrying out VAPT analysis, we're actually trying to look for threats. We're trying to look for bugs that are in the network or in the system, on the yes, in the network or system. Now, what AI tools or AI driven cybersecurity solution will tend to achieve is to actually identify anomalies. Anomalies are like bugs or mistakes or potential vulnerabilities or weaknesses, because in the order, when there's a vulnerability, which is also called a weakness, when there's a vulnerability, it leads to an exploit that can be attacked upon. Is an order when a vulnerability is seen or a weakness is seen. Yeah, so it leads to an exploit that will lead to an attack. So some cyber attackers don't actually attack immediately. They find a weakness, or they find a anomaly, or they find a bug, or they find a vulnerability. No, sometimes they wait, they study the system, study the network, then they look for the perfect time to create or to cause an attack. But when we implement AI to our in cybersecurity solutions, realize that it detects threats faster, 92%, even it's more efficient than manual vulnerability assessment. Maybe using our operating system like Kali. If we use AI, if we implement AI solutions to cybersecurity governance and assessment, we realize that it identifies anomalies faster and faster. Please, are we together? Can we all hear me? I want to ensure that everyone is hearing me and we are flowing together.
Yes, yes, I'm hearing
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Yes, thank you very much. Incident response. What does AI driven cybersecurity solution tend to do? It reduces response time by 60%. Yes, we understand that in cybersecurity, in when we're talking about risk assessment or risk awareness, because sometimes it has to. Many people are not even risk aware. Yes, before we can even start assessing the risks. So in under risk awareness, risk assessment, and all, we have what we call incident response. Yes, we have the business development plan, incident response plan. Yes, all these plans are to what ensure that in case there's um an attack on the system, how can we mitigate it fast, or how can we come back to normal? So AI helps to what reduce response time by 60%. So for example, let me give an example. If it's for a network or a system that has a network or system that's shut down, probably due to DDoS. DDoS means distinguish and denial of service, when attackers or hackers load the system, like they load the system to prevent the legitimate users from accessing that particular service or that particular system. So imagine that a DDoS attack happens on let me use a web application, for example, web application, and they don't know what to do. Is people customers are complaining and all. What we can use AI to reduce response time, to ensure that to ensure that um the response at which people I'm trying to bring it down to where we understand, to ensure that the rate at which the system goes back to normal does not take too much time. For example, we understand that in cybersecurity, the main focus or the main aim is the CIA. We talk about cybersecurity, talk about C, talk about the I, talk about the A. The C is the confidentiality, the I is the integrity, the A is the availability. So when those three factors are not in place, cybersecurity is no more available in that particular aspect, or in that particular yes, in that particular time. So but when we ensure that AI during cybersecurity tools are in place, it reduces the response time to 60%. One more thing that AI tends to do in cybersecurity and in governance is that it helps to identify risks 75% more accurately. Sometimes when we are trying to um identify risks manually, we might not actually identify all the risks, because sometimes we might miss it. Not like deliberately, it cannot be an oversight. But when because AI is more advanced, it can identify risks 75% more accurately. Data security, AI also tends to what? It helps to reduce the rate at which data is lost, prevents data loss. Very, very important, because nobody wants their data to get lost or get missing or get stolen. Yes, because the hackers also steal information, they corrupt information, they can actually inject a ransomware into a system. When they inject ransomware into a system, they encrypt the whole system, and after encrypting the whole system, they do what? Ask for a ransom to de-encrypt it. Now that is like data being lost. If there's no backup, if there's no cloud security, those information can actually even be stolen and be used negatively against the organization. So AI also tends to what? Prevents data loss. Prevent data loss is very, very important, because our information, our data is very confidential to every organization. Every organization has raw data information that they don't want the public to have, or they don't want their competitors to have. So when data is being lost or when data is being stolen, it reduces the integrity, like the CIA, confidentiality of the information, integrity of the organization, and availability of the services that that data or information is supposed to have provided for the general public, for the growth of the organization. Yeah, the key ways or the key areas of AI enhancement is network security, endpoint protection, data security, identity management. Network security, endpoint protection, data security, identity management. Now, the how can we enhance, like how can we develop in your organization or in your organization, how do you want AI to enhance your what do you want to use AI to actually enhance in your security department? Number one, your network security, to ensure that intrusion detection is paramount, like it's up to date, it's always taking place all the time. And also enhancing traffic analysis, understanding or showing the amount of people going in, or not really people, yes, people that actually have access to your um to your to your network, to actually study the traffic and analyze it. AI helps to do all this. And one thing about AI is also the speed at which it brings out information. For example, if it is being done manually, it can take time. Sometimes it can even take hours to actually manually um check or analyze, but AI is actually faster. Yes, it checks intrusions faster, and it analyzes traffic faster, and it helps to now protect this network security. So even though something is supposed to have happened to that network, so it helps to see it, like it helps to detect it faster than when it was than when it was than when it is, oh Lord, it helps to detect it faster than when it is done manually. I'm sorry about that. Than when it is done manually. Now, the second one is the endpoint protection. It helps to enhance behavioral analysis, zero-day exploit prevention also. For data security, can we all hear me, please? Can we all
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it helps to enhance behavioral analysis and zero-day exploitation prevention. Now, data security. Anomaly, it helps to enhance anomaly detection. Anomaly is just like saying a bug or a weakness or a vulnerability or something that is out of place in the network or in the system. So it helps to detect it fast and prevent data loss. All is to just prevent your data or your information, irrespective, regardless of the case may be. Now, identity management. It helps to enhance adaptive authentication and privileged access monitoring. And then the next slide, we're going to actually do a little analysis here. And this is a company Lensfair, a digital learning platform with 500,000 students across Africa. Now, let's imagine now a platform online, obviously, an online platform, this digital learning platform that has over 500,000 students across Africa. Okay, now imagine there is no data security. Imagine there's no data security. A lot of students' data or information, like their accounts, can be hacked into to access their scores, access their in some cases where there's going to be credit card information, can even have access to their credit card information that can actually lead to loss of money. Now let's look at the challenge first. Challenge is a credential stuffing attacks on student accounts. Number two, phishing attempt targeting teachers. What is phishing? Sending malicious emails or sending emails with malicious links to the teachers, so that when they click on the link, they can have maybe unauthorized access to their account. Now, data privacy risks under NDPR and GDPR. Now, what can we do to with AI? What can we do with AI to solve this problem, to solve this challenge? I'm using an educational tech platform now as my example, educational tech. Now, what can we do to do what? To reduce or to even stop this challenge totally. Number one, we use AI to detect anomalies anomaly or weaknesses or vulnerabilities in the system. Now it says 98% accuracy in detecting unauthorized logins. Number two, adaptive authentication, behavior-based access control for users. Then governance strategies. We are going to integrate our ISO now. That's our international standard framework. So we're going to use the framework to build or to integrate it. To integrate, we're going to use the ISO 27001 framework as a solution to the challenges in this particular learning platform. Now, what is the outcome when we actually use these solutions to solve these challenges? We realize that 72% reduction, there was a 72% reduction in account compromises. There was full compliance in 3 months. Full compliance because of we actually integrated our ISO 27001 framework. I have the document on my platform. I will maybe if there's still time, I would love to show us some parts of the ISO 27001 framework that we used or implemented. And the third outcome we realized was enhanced platform trust and reputation. That is what cybersecurity tends to achieve. The confidentiality, availability, the CIA, confidentiality, the integrity, the trust that the students can, and or the parents or the guardians of, yes, the parents, students, or guardians can have in learning sphere. Yes. So enhance platform trust and reputation. That means we are sure that the people that are using this platform, that's less fair, have total trust in us because we have used AI driven solutions to actually solve these challenges, and we've seen the outcome as a very positive one. So AI has come to stay actually, if you realize it. AI has come to stay. ChatGPT, DeepSeek, many platforms that we can use to develop a lot of sectors, including cybersecurity, AI, including cybersecurity, governance, risks, compliance. AI now can be implemented in this to reduce the rate of threats, to reduce the rate of attacks also in the system too. Now, implementing AI-driven security governance. We have our frameworks. We have the NIST. We have the ISO 27001 framework with AI. No, we define the metrics with KPIs and incident. Excuse me, with incident reduction, and we also would ensure data governance. I'm always very particular about data because data is like some organizations don't even want their data out there. They are that's some organizations. For example, let me use the example. Probably a food organization where they sell food. Obviously, they sell food. Yeah, so they don't want their secret formula, like the way they cook their food, the way they put their ingredients. They don't want it to leak out, Abby. So in case there's a breach in that system and someone copies their formula and steals their food formula and starts using the same thing they are cooking or even makes it better, they will lose a lot of customers. So I'm always very particular about data because data is like something that needs to be very safeguard that needs to be safeguarded, that needs to be that needs to be protected because it's like some people have their financial data, some people have organizational structure data, everything. So when threats are increasing, intelligent threats actually are increasing, are causing attacks. It is a threat on the data, threat on your information. So one of the frameworks we can also implement with AI is data governance to ensure data quality. Number four says model management. We are implementing AI driven solution towards to monitor and refine AI models. Excuse me. Now, what are the practical strategies and resources? Okay, I ask now, how all this AI stuff I'm saying, how are we going to actually start? How are we going to do it? The first thing is to start small, to pilot projects to demonstrate value. Start small. Nothing. They say Rome was not built in a day. So it's to actually look at what solution works best for you in your organization. Look at the one that works best and actually start small to build pilot projects to demonstrate value. Now, also one thing is to invest in data collection and cleaning. Ensure that data quality is very paramount. It's very, very important. So as you're starting small, as you're trying to build projects that demonstrate value, it's also very imperative to invest in data collection and cleaning. Then also training. There's something in cybersecurity where we call security awareness or cybersecurity awareness, where we ensure that we train people. Training is very important, not just the board or a particular sector or a particular department in an organization that has knowledge about all these things. No, everyone should be aware. Everyone should know what is going, even though they might not have the technical information, they might not have technical skills in that aspect, but it is very imperative for everyone in an organization to have idea of some things, so that, for example, phishing, someone sends a malicious email, but an individual in front desk or an individual as a secretary cannot even identify if an email that has a phishing attempt to actually get access to the organization. Yes, I was talking about cybersecurity awareness. So it's very important to upskill security teams in AI to ensure that there's enough cybersecurity awareness in your organization. Now, under the aspect of AI, because this webinar is actually focused on AI. So cybersecurity training or cybersecurity awareness in for the security teams and even non-security teams too. Everyone should just be aware of should be security aware with AI knowledge. Like everyone should have AI knowledge also in the organization. So what are the last practical strategy and resource for this is use open source tools and research. Yes. For a start, at least for an organization that is just coming up, you can actually use open source tools to start to for research, and research. Yes, it's very important to always research, to always gather enough information before going into something, because if you don't, according to what people say, um um if you don't, oh lord, if you don't plan effectively, yes, like you're planning to fail. It's like that. Yes. So it's very important to research using open source tools, at least for a start, to gather more information on how you can implement AI cybersecurity governance in your organization. Yes, I've come to the end of my webinar. This is the end of my slide. So in case anyone has a question, yes, we have experts in the room that, and in case you want to also share your experiences and insights also, the floor is open. Thank you very much for having me. I've come to the end of my webinar. Thank you very much.
All right. So, any questions before I round up? Anybody, Mr. Solomon, Mr. Austin, Mr. Great, Sadironke? There are no questions. That means you did a perfect job, and you can give a webinar on this topic. You can ask that question, so please. All right, fantastic work, Mr. Opeyemi. Thank you so much. Our next webinar will be next week, and we'll be having Ms. Esther talking about women in tech, the network and security space. She's a CompTI certified engineer, and yeah, she's been with us for about 3 years.
I have a question.
Hey, God, Austin, don't come again. Jesus. Hey, Opeyemi, brace yourself. All right, the floor is yours, Mr. Austin.
Okay, so I have like 5 questions.
Jesus. They can't. Please, be calm down.
Wait, I have 5 questions. So I'm going to be asking them one after the other, because while you were talking, you were shooting quite a lot of information. So I was trying to articulate most of what you were saying, trying to put them in their different buckets. So I would actually like you to throw more light. So let me ask my first question. So my first question is this. You talked about the people's data being stolen by hackers, and hackers can easily have access to your data, and the AI is here to help you solve that. So what I want to know is data encryption. I thought that is the work of data encryption, to protect the user's data from such kind of incidents. So how is data encryption now different from this AI use context that you are referring to? Can you throw more light on it?
Can I give an attempt at answering that question?
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Great, you want to answer the question?
From my own perspective. So when we encrypt data, me as a developer that's developed the encryption software, I can easily decrypt that same yeah. I can easily decrypt that same data that was encrypted. Now, over the years, most of the encryption software for passwords have actually been broken by hackers and skilled people in that space. So unless they are coming up with new methods, most of the new file encryption ways that have been using over the years have been broken down and reverse engineered by all these cyber criminals. So not no data is really safe these days from my perspective. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Okay, so but I'm still asking. I'm saying that how is this data encryption? Because I know that is a form of defense to kind of reduce the possibility of that happening. So I'm saying in this case, in the case of the EduTech solution, which our facilitator has referenced as her case study, how does AI come into save the day? Can you give me a narrative or can you walk me through of how AI would be integrated in this situation?
Okay, so in cybersecurity, there are softwares called intrusion detection systems. And nowadays they use AI for these IDSs. So when the AI is trained on most of the threat patterns and attack patterns that have been used over the years, it is more efficient than humans and can easily identify and quickly stop off an attack before it even before it goes far. That's how I feel AI can assist.
Okay, all right. So my second question to our facilitator. So while you were talking about manual, you mentioned something about manual cybersecurity. So I would like to know more or learn more your concepts of manual cybersecurity. And I also do know that before the advent of AI, there was something they call automation, where you automate things and so from your experience and knowledge, how is manual cybersecurity different from automation cybersecurity, and is AI, you know, where does AI come into the whole picture, edutech solution that we're talking about, of how this comes into play?
It's like it was cracking. I didn't really get a question. Please, can you go over the question again? I didn't get it, please.
Okay, so no, so my question is manual cybersecurity, automated and AI based or AI driven. What is the difference? How do they work? In the case of this edutech solution that we're talking about, that you use as your case study, how does it work? Can you first of all help by probably defining what it is and then probably give us a context used as it pertains to your use case, which is the edutech solution?
Thank you very much, sir. Now we have different examples of manual cybersecurity tools. We have Wireshark. Yes, we have PFSense. We have different. This one they manually inspect traffic using a live server. Hmm? Not really like something that's automated. They just use sometimes they even use like this PFSense now. It's like an open source firewall. So it's actually good for controlling access to like servers or school networks and all. But you cannot compare something that is manual, something like automated. Automated things, especially with the use of AI, tends to reduce like anomaly. It tends to reduce the anomaly. Even we have open VAS. That one is a vulnerability scanner. That one is manual. Yeah, you understand? It's manual. It helps to check in maybe for example now, it's let me use like a university setting where they before it's the new semester now, they can say that okay, let us use this OpenVS software as the manual one. No, let us use it to actually check students information before a new semester like that. So after they manually scan, they now begin to review and fix vulnerabilities. But it is manual. But when the AI driven one or the automated ones, now let me break it down for you. The manual ones, they have full control by a human. It's a human being that's actually operating that particular network. You understand? And in cybersecurity, human being are the we are the weakest link because we are humans. We cannot actually we can sometimes not deliberately can make mistakes. You understand? So everything is fully controlled by human. That's a manual cybersecurity tool like the OpenVS and the one I mentioned earlier. But when it is the automated one, they make decisions faster. They can sometimes you can even give them permissions to carry out actions. They have full control. Although it's not really limited, not like full control like human being. It can be limited, but they make decisions that are actually higher than the manual ones. Now, manual tools are slower. It is manual. Something that is manual are usually slower, but automated are much faster. I can detect and respond in real time, very very fast, compared to the manual tools. You understand? So, Mr. Austin, are you there? Mr. Austin, can you hear me, please? Hello.
We can all hear you. Probably Mr. Austin is. I
Okay,
think maybe he dropped off
I
the
wanted to
call.
know.
He dropped off the call actually. He dropped off the call. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mr. Joshua Junaid,
Oh,
welcome, sir. I can see our data analytics people here. Cybersecurity. That's good. All right. So, any other
Yeah,
question
good
before we
evening,
round up?
bro.
Welcome. Any other question, Mr. Joshua? Mr. Joshua Junaid, welcome,
I
sir.
have a question. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Mr. Solomon. But who has the question? Go ahead.
Okay, so I just have a question. And my question is that, okay, as a cybersecurity expert, what is your take on the um, perspective of when someone needs a cybersecurity expert? Like, does every what do I call it? For example, now let's say a company or let's say a product, if either small or big, you understand. So do they have to get to a stage before they need a cybersecurity expert, or everybody needs a cybersecurity expert so far they work with data?
everyone needs a cybersecurity expert. Very very important. Okay, I before when I during the webinar I said something. I said sorry, during the presentation. Yeah, I said just like building a house, you are building something beautiful, a duplex or a mansion, and there's no gates, there's no security, there's nothing that will guard that particular beautiful thing. It can get destroyed. So no matter like even as a startup company of maybe 5 to 10 employers, 10 to 50 employees, sorry, employees. I'm so sorry about that. Employees, 5 to 10 employees, 10 to 50 employees, and all. We still need to have cyber. It might not be like expert, because it is you are still a small scale organization, yeah. But you can start with incident response team, GRC, like lead implementers, yes, GRC specialist, that's the ISO, the governance risk. GRC means governance risk and compliance. Just have those basic ones. Then as you grow, as the organization keeps growing and growing, you begin to see need for more experts, for white hat hackers, that's the ethical hackers. Sometimes you even need red hat hackers, the people that actually hack into your system. You actually pay them to hack into your system to actually see how solid or strong
So
network
sorry,
is.
ma. Mr. Austin is in the waiting room again.
Okay. Okay, I've admitted him in.
Thank you.
I've admitted him in.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So every organization needs to have at least to have human insight and strategy to actually look because as you are building, you also need security strategy to actually back whatever you are doing of like a protection. You understand? To prevent against damage, to secure to actually protect. You understand? To protect. And because let me imagine now, for example, you are building a software that is about something similar to like OP, that's about money. You understand? Where people keep transfer money, keep money and all those stuff. Imagine that app is being breached into or is being hacked into. The money will be lost. Legal suit, because you can nowadays now you can just be in a small room, small office, and you're building apps and you're be getting paid. So yeah, it's still very important to have understanding about your security. Just have a team, a security team that can give you advice, and make you understand policies, because yes, policy too is very important. Yes, understand policies and all. So no matter, at least the little they are, as you grow in your and expand, you keep increasing the size of the security team. You can have lead implementers, you can have auditors, you can have security architects, you can have security consultants and all those stuff. But as I said in that webinar in the presentation, that you start from where you are, make research, use open source tools, so able to get more information. Do you understand? Sir, do you understand now? Hello, sir.
Understand?
Yeah.
I
But
And
understand.
then,
one more thing.
as a
I
follow-up
want to say
to the
one more thing,
question,
please. I want to say one more thing, please. Sorry. And one more thing that every organization needs is training. Yes, as some organization, maybe everyone once in a month or twice in a quarter, they can have trainings. Training is very important. You understand? They train, if you have having a security team will help to be able to train your team like other departments to be able to avoid phishing. Sometimes it's not phishing. Sometimes it can be weak passwords. You understand? Some people don't know how to set password, and they'll be saving it to Google. They'll save their password to Google. It's actually wrong to save our passwords to Google. It's actually better to write it somewhere than saving it on Google, because imagine your Google account is hacked into, or they have access to all your passwords. So some people don't have such information. So you need a team that will help you to train your team, like the other departments, yeah, against phishing, against weak passwords, to help create policies and to lead incident response simulations in case okay something happens. Okay, something is going on with the security aspect of your app that you built. You don't know what to do. But when you have a team, no matter how small, even though it's a 5-man team, 10-man team, it will help you to what? Build a culture of security in your team as you grow. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you.
Oh, we have to round up like very soon because like we have just an hour. Um, so any final questions? Grace, here you had a follow-up question, and Mr. Austin, your final questions.
Yeah, I have a question. So you're talking about setting up a 10-man team, 5-man team. How do you even know the number of team that is even required in the first place? But that's the second question. The main question is, how does the hacking happen? Can you describe how the hacking process? Because if you are going to fight against hacking, you can as well just know how the hacking happens. So if you are breached, you know exactly what went wrong, you know where to search, you know how to search, you know where to start. So in your own experience, like using our edutech as the solution here, you have a edutech platform and you were hacked. How do you know where to start, and how can you explain, say for example you're an employee, to management? How do you explain to management how the company got hacked? Where do you start your explanation from? Can you give an elaborate explanation on that? Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, for example, in cybersecurity, we have what we call social engineering. Yeah, that's the act of tricking people to give passwords. I actually fell a victim once actually, where I okay, I need to just say it fast. So, a bank, my bank was Keystone Bank. So I received a link, like a code from Keystone Bank, and immediately someone called me that please, we need that link within that particular, like, not link, actually code, sorry, code. So, and I was very naive then, and I gave my code to them. I didn't know that they were hackers. If I had had security awareness then, I wouldn't have given away that code. You understand? So for example, a fake email comes into the school admin asking the teacher to log in, because the teacher does not really see anything like suspicious, or he just logs in directly, but it leads to a fake site. You understand? it leads to a fake site. Can you hear me? It leads to a fake site. Then now that fake site can
Mm.
actually, then the teacher can be like, okay, I'm on the fake site, and he downloads something malicious, like a malicious software, but it is harmless because the person did not know, the teacher did not know that it's a harmless particular type of um is a harmless stuff. So it could be virus, it could be a spyware, it could even be a keylogger, something that they used to actually log in, like log into other people's student accounts. You understand? So they can actually use those virus or spyware to steal information and take control of the device silently. There's a story of a woman that came to me. She was asking me that she kept her phone somewhere and someone hacked into her phone. She didn't even know. And the person was spying on her calls. But the person had access to all her contacts. Yes, it's happening in Lagos. So, like, the lady, she came. She's an elderly woman, so she didn't know. She didn't have information. She didn't even understand what was going on. They had access to her contacts, her call log, everything, because I think she clicked on a link that she was not sure of, and immediately spyware entered into her phone. You understand? So, if, for example, if you want to tell the management, maybe when something like that happens, you just tell them that probably someone had a weak password, one, or someone clicked on a malicious link, not knowing, like a phishing email was sent to the teacher or an admin, and because of the ignorance the person had, the person clicked on the link and was redirected to a website where the person was instructed to download something that had virus because the person was what, unaware. You understand? So hacking happens in through different, even through the harmless method that we never even have ideas. So most of these hackers, they don't actually attack immediately. Many of them don't attack immediately. They just have access to the system or network by um by finding vulnerabilities, then having access, like trying to exploit the system before they create an actual attack. So Mr. Austin, please, do you really understand? Do you understand what I what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I understand what you just said, but it's one scenario. So, that scenario covers, say, that's like for a layman, right? Someone
Mm.
sends you a phishing email to extract your username and password, and they use it to log into your account, collects your money, and goes away with what you made. But that's one possibility. I'm saying the possibility of the fact that, say, for example, you have a WordPress website, for example, you are the admin. There is the login that people have do not lead. Those people are not the super admin. So hacking their site is not going to, hacking their account is not going to do much. It's just one person. So now you the admin now, if you get hacked, how do you first of all remediate the situation? What
I'm not hearing this one again. I can't hear
do
you. I can't hear you, please. It's it's cracking.
you do at that instance,
Um,
assuming you were using AI system to remediate the situation?
Sorry, Mr.
sorry,
Austin, can you repeat? It was not clear at all.
I didn't get your question, please.
I think he's having network issues.
Mr. Austin. Okay. Mr. Austin, I didn't get your question. Mr. Austin, are you there?
Um, Maybe you and Mr. Austin can have a private session later. You can leave your contact info for us, for whoever wants to contact you.
Thank you so much, great. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, Opeyemi's email will be available on the Academy. I think it'll be Opeyemi.Olaitan at CHSG.com, and any other questions can be asked. For the viewers that will be on YouTube watching this on demand, probably later during the week, thank you for your time. Our next webinar will be next week Saturday. Next week Saturday by Engineer Star Joshua, the network security specialist. I should be talking about women in tech and network security. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
tí má jáde lọ tí mo dé tí mo gbọ́ mi níbi tó ti lọ sí mo mú ọkọ̀ mi wọ́n ṣàdúrà fún mi.